Hello, welcome back to my channel. I just got a really incredible update that I wanted to share with you because I know there's so much gold in what I'm about to share in this video that's going to help you take your unique skill set, your expertise, your experience, and impact way more people who need you most, and also detach your time from your income. So this is the story of how my client was able to generate over $200,000 in revenue in a fairly short time period with no audience by pre-selling her online program, meaning she hadn't even built the program yet. So to date, I've helped thousands of people leverage my strategy to do just that. And I'm gonna share 5 key takeaways of what made this possible so you can use them for yourself in really making this happen for your own online education business. So let's dig into these results. And if you're excited about this, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe for new videos every single week. So first of all, her program topic is a psilocybin therapy facilitator training course. She enrolled 33 human beings into her program with no audience. She started with absolutely no audience. Her program price was $6,500 for the pre-sale version of her program. And the total revenue, like I said, was $214,000. And the total cash collected was $137,000 to date. So the rest of that will come in through payment plans, etc. Pretty incredible results, and even more incredible when you understand what went into making this happen and in the time frame she was able to do it. So I'm gonna get into those 5 key steps in just a second, but if you aren't familiar, this is the place to be to create a peaceful, purposeful, and profitable online education business. If you are serious about creating an online program, you have an expertise to share with the world, there is a link below this video to fill out an application to speak to a real person on my team so we can see how we can best support you in making that a reality and see if you're the right fit to use our methodology. Please be sure to fill it out as thoroughly as possible so that we can truly know how to best support you. Key number 1, she identified the big 3: who, what, how. The foundation of any business that is built to actually last needs to rely on these 3 very simple questions. Who are you serving with your program? Who is the exact ideal client? And that's not just picking a random person or description or niche or topic. It's really describing that person in detail. And I call these the 3 key factors of the ideal client that are going to set you up for success in the long run and make it really easy to find your ideal client. So it's one specific ideal client at one specific place on their journey seeking one specific outcome. Now, the next step to that and the next question is what is the outcome that you're providing with your program? What is it that this person desperately needs and has urgency and pain around? That is what is going to make them excited about actually investing into the program, and more than that, doing the work. Because if you sell an online program or an online course and people enroll but they don't actually do the work, it's not going to last very long, because social proof, validation, and credibility is what helps you scale an online education business. You can only go so far without real results. And then the final piece of the puzzle is how. So once you figure out the who and the what, then you have to think about it in terms of, okay, how are we going to create this transformation for this person? So the methodology that we use is we identify the ideal client first and the outcome, and then we help you map out, okay, what's the client journey? They're starting here, this is their 0 point where they're in pain, they're challenged, they're feeling urgency, they need to make a change. That specific place they're at. And we wanna take them all the way up to the hero outcome and make a transformation happen for them so that they feel like they got true value out of what it is that you're providing, and it's super specific to that ideal client and their needs. So identifying all of these factors before you build anything, create any curriculum, is the key to creating a solid foundation that you can actually market and sell without having to build out the curriculum first. And you can do that in a way that's way more efficient. So I want you to comment right now below this video and tell me, who are you trying to serve and what is the outcome of the program you want to create? Let's not worry about the how right now. Let's focus on the who and the what. Comment below. Key number 2, conducting research calls with the right people. So market research is a huge factor in how you develop a program that stands the test of time and what we call creates a legacy business. And a legacy business means that even if you're not around, the impact you can have with your online program will stand the test of time and outlast you. And so actually speaking to real human beings, and we suggest doing this via Zoom to our clients and asking them a very specific set of questions about what it is that they need and are seeking, is going to help you essentially create a custom curriculum for that ideal client that you know is going to be the most impactful for them, and it's going to help you attract more of that ideal client. So I wanted to share this with you. I talked about this in depth in last week's video, which I will link to below, and how you can build that audience and that list from scratch. But I wanted to just share how exactly this worked in this case. So she said, I sold for only 2.5 weeks instead of the full 30 days, which is what we generally recommend when you're launching or pre-selling a program. I did a lot of ideal client interviews, is what she's talking about, over 100, and interest calls, 61 leading up. So I had a lot of people who were interested. So essentially from scratch, she built a list of people who were her ideal client. They matched exactly who she was trying to serve. Doing market research with people who are not your ideal client or all over the place and random creates absolute chaos and confusion, and built a very cracked and unstable foundation for your business. So what did that lead to? I only sent out an email to my list of 61 recipients. So she built that email list from zero, okay? She built that email list from zero because she knew exactly who she was looking for, and she found ways to find them online and offline, which I'm going to talk about in another step a little bit later. And by doing so, those folks who expressed high interest in the program, when she did her interviews with them, they ultimately submitted applications. And 33 of those people turned into clients. Talk about hot leads and creating an insane conversion rate. She built value with them by sitting down and really listening to what they needed, doing proper interviews, doing proper research on Zoom with them. And by the time she had a program that she was actually able to sell, they were all on board. It wasn't even created yet, but they were like, I'm in because I know it was made for me, and you truly listened to me and took the time to figure out what I need to solve this problem. So further to that, she didn't create this big, huge, massive audience, and she didn't even really focus on building a big audience before she was able to actually sell or monetize her program, which is a huge mistake a lot of people make. They often think, I have to create a following on social media in order to sell anything. Wrong. You do not. You need to create real relationships with human beings who you know are your ideal client, create value with them, listen to them intently, and those are the folks that are going to be your first clients. Key number 3, she created a bare bones and hyper-targeted email list. Okay, so what this means, and again, I harped on this and went through this in detail in last week's video, so I highly encourage you to check that out. And this was the strategy in place here. So remember, she really had a list of 61 people who were her ideal client that she had conversations with. By doing that, she was able to convert 33 of them. That's pretty remarkable because she had truly taken the time to listen to them. So she didn't have an email list that was set up in some, CRM system. She didn't have a massive social media following at all. She took the time to figure out, where is my ideal client hanging out, because she knows who they are. She just needs to figure out where they're hanging out and how can I best get in touch with them. So some of the ways that she did that, there's both offline and online methods. Offline, she looked at plant medicine centers, which there are many of those. And she got in contact with them via the phone, or she would go to these specific locations. She went to universities. She, another option for her, because she's doing a facilitator training course, she could be going to therapists, psychologists, doctors, anybody who is looking to leverage this in their practice. So that's the offline piece of this. And then online, there are a plethora of ways to find where your ideal client is hanging out. So she knows that she's creating a psilocybin facilitator training course. So psilocybin is a key word there. Psilocybin therapy, psilocybin training, all keywords. So what do? You want to go into places like Google and look up, okay, what are the resources currently available? Where are people learning about this right now? And how can I get involved in that community? And then you can also go to Facebook pages and groups and involve yourself in the conversation and identify your ideal clients in the comments section and in the group itself or the page itself and how they're interacting. That is how you go one by one and start planting seeds and identifying your ideal client and building a small but mighty list of human beings that you can then conduct these interviews with, these research interviews with, that are not built to sell, they're built to listen, and then go back to those folks once you have your program ready, and you can actually let them know, hey, I created this thing that you're looking for. Are you interested in being a part of the process and enrolling? And people will be so excited to do so. And another big key to this is once you get 1 to 2 people that you can speak to and do an interview with, they then start referring you to other folks. And that's how it builds the snowball effect of momentum of speaking to really great people. Like I said, I'm gonna link to last week's video below, but it's actually gonna be part of a whole playlist around starting your program and selling your program from absolute zero. So you have a ton of resources available to you there. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you're really serious about this, be sure to fill out that application in the description box below to give us the most information you can about what it is that you're trying to build your online program around so that we can really support you and know if you're the right fit for us to get to that next level and make it a reality. The fourth key is you'll notice that she picked the right price to reflect the value of the outcome of her program. And it was priced at $6,500, and this is for the program before it's even built, so that price will ultimately go up when the program is actually built. But in order to get social proof, validation, and clients in the door, she wanted to price it at a place where it was a little bit under what she would ultimately sell it for. $6,500, you might be sitting there going, oh my gosh, that is incredibly expensive. And I want to challenge you and say expensive in comparison to what? When it comes to picking the right price for your online program, which you guessed it, I have a whole other video on this topic, which again will be included in that playlist below. It's always important to base it on the value of the outcome over anything else. The biggest mistake you can make when you're pricing a program is basing it on time, the amount of information in the program, or what you're currently trading your time for money for. So what are you currently charging hourly, monthly retainer, etc. That has nothing to do with the price that you will ultimately place on your online program, because the online program is always based around what people are investing into an online program to gain the outcome that you are providing and the value of that outcome you're providing mentally, financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And how you really want to figure that out is take out a piece of paper right now. Write out the cost across the board of all of those things I just mentioned of somebody not having the outcome you provide. So I've given examples before in terms of one of our clients helps women heal their acne from the inside out. The cost to her clients was they were missing work. They were sometimes at risk of losing their jobs because they weren't showing up because they felt so insecure about their skin. They were losing relationships, which was causing a lot of emotional strain for them and mental strain for them. They were also investing thousands upon thousands of dollars into skincare and the newest remedy, etc. So you have to break down those costs to adequately identify the value of the outcome and what you're ultimately saving them by having them invest into the outcome of your program, which you know you're going to be able to deliver on because you've created a curriculum that's going to get them there. When it comes to picking the right price and not undercharging, because undercharging does a disservice to you, it attracts the wrong people and probably not your ideal clients, and ultimately leaves you in a feast or famine cycle so you can't serve at your highest level. The most important piece is knowing that you're basing the price on the value of the outcome first and foremost. And that is based on knowing what it costs your ideal client to not work with you, to not have access to your program. And that would mean years spent guessing, trying to figure it out on their own. So time, energy, investing in the wrong things and the wrong resources to try and figure it out, which would be a waste of money. Really add that up. That's going to help you create a price that is way better than undercharging or undervaluing yourself. And key number 5 is she built her program as she delivered it so she could get it to market with speed and efficiency. So when it comes to creating any kind of business, until it's actually out in the real world and being tested and validated and used by real people, you have no idea if it's actually going to work. So I hear horror stories from people every single day that they've been spending 2 years, 3 years building this amazing online program, but they have no idea if anyone's gonna buy it. And oftentimes when they go to launch it, no one does. So how this process works and how this came to fruition using our methodology is she essentially created her own capital. So she, generated over $200,000 in revenue for her business by pre-selling it, which gives her the space, and we call it the 3 C's: cash flow, confidence in her offer, and client results, because these people are going to go through and actually validate it and give her social proof to be able to grow and scale in a really healthy way, and not in a way where you're constantly chasing after the next client and you're only inviting the right people into your program and the right clients into your program. So ultimately what happens is she figures out who, what, and how she's delivering it, creates a curriculum outline but doesn't build the curriculum, delivers it in a live setting week by week, and then she's able to pre-package her curriculum and sell it in a way that it's on-demand learning once it's validated and proven, and she makes any tweaks that are necessary to it. But by being able to build it on the go as she's working with clients, you will never know how you can teach better or make your program better until you start talking to real people and delivering to your clients and they go, I didn't really understand that. Can you further clarify it? So then you have to make a tweak to the curriculum. Or this piece I feel like should have gone over here, or this part should have come first before this part. That's the best way to learn how you can teach better, because ultimately that's going to make the curriculum and the value of your outcome and your program that much more effective. So again, there's an entire playlist below that brings this all together, that talks about everything from pre-selling your program in more depth to growing from absolute zero, growing your online course business from absolute zero, and so much more. So be sure to check that out and use that as a resource. And like I said, if you are ready to do this and you are ready to make this a reality for yourself, be sure to fill out that application in detail so that we know how we can best support you. We can get you to speak to a real human on our team, and that application link is below. And just know that the more thorough you are, the better success your application will have. We are very particular with who we work with because we want to make sure that we can serve you at the highest level. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have light bulbs from this, it's my love language. So please leave a comment below with what your takeaway was and tell me, who are you serving and what is the outcome of your program that you want to create, so we can dig a little deeper in the comments as well. Be sure to like, subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.